Alright guys, what's going on? My name is Christian. How in the heck are you doing? No, I'm totally fucking with you guys. What's going on? My name is Christian, obviously, and today I have a pretty crazy story, one that, I was like, I gotta tell this one. But before I get started, can we aim for 2 likes? If we can blast 2 likes, that would just be absolutely insane. So hit that like button if you enjoy. Leave some comments. Last video, we were kind of weak on the comments, and I'm not about that life. So hit the comment section up. I read every single one. Anyway, so as you can tell from the title, today's story is about my first time dabbing. So if you don't know what dabbing is, it's essentially like smoking pot, except it's like this really concentrated liquid that's like 90% THC or something like that. It's crazy. I know someone's gonna correct me and be like, it's 94.69. I don't give a fuck. It's just, it's a lot of THC in there. And if you don't know what it is exactly, look it up and you'll understand it better, and the story will make a lot more sense. So anyway, I was at a friend's house and I had smoked weed, quite a few times at this point, and so it wasn't like a new thing to me. And for me, I'm not like an often pot smoker, and this is important. I don't smoke pot a lot. In fact, I do very seldom, maybe like a couple times a month at the very most. I'm not like hugely into it, but when I'm with friends and they're doing it and stuff, it's like, okay, yeah, I don't mind. That's fine. Anyway, on this particular occasion, my friend didn't have any pot, and not that I had gone over to smoke that. He was just like, yo, do you want to smoke? And I'm like, yeah, I guess so, because we were just kind of chilling playing Call of Duty, because it was him, one of my good friends, and then his friend, and they lived together basically, right? They both had jobs and they split the cost of this apartment. And so we were just playing Call of Duty and stuff, and he's like, do you want to smoke? And I'm like, yeah, sure. And he's like, I don't have any flour. And then I'm like, I'm not about to smoke meth or something. And he's like, no, take a dab. And I was like, what's a dab? And then he kind of proceeded to explain it to me. And so I was like, all right, yeah, let's do it. If it's basically just like weed, well, that's where I was wrong. So anyway, he gets the grease out. I don't even know what to call it. Is it like an oil? Someone in the comments is an expert on this. I just know it, and they'll explain this to all of you. And so he got this oil out, and he's like, dude, 1 hit is all you need. And I'm like, dude, I kind of want to get messed up. Not like messed up, but I want to feel something. And he's like, trust me, this is all you need. And he takes a tiny little screwdriver and gets the tiniest little bit of that. And I'm like, dude, I'm not even going to feel that. And he's like, yeah, you will. So he puts it in this thing, right? It's like this specialized sort of bong, and he puts it in there, and I take a hit of it, right? I didn't get anything this first time. He's like, I don't know, I guess it fucked up. So he got another one of those little slivers, put it in there, started burning it, and he was like, okay, go for it. And I got this enormous hit out of it, right? And I rushed to the window because he wanted me to blow it out the window, and I blew it out, and I was just dead, immediately. My throat was burning because he got this thing so hot, and I don't know if it was because it was too hot or because it was such a big hit. I'm not really sure, but it was really crazy. And I just as soon as I was done with that hit, I went to the kitchen, I got some water, I got some milk out of the fridge, and just started chugging that, dude. I was just dying. It was like I deep-throated a penis made out of just metal shards, you know what I mean? Or glass shards that just shot molten lava cum. It was terrible. But anyway, so I kind of get this a little bit better. It still hurts like a bitch, and I go to sit down, right? In the second I go to sit down, this is 3 minutes after taking the hit, I am just dead. I am just destroyed. I sit down next to my friend. He has this really trippy music on. In fact, it's called Young Lean. You can go look him up on YouTube. And that was pretty freaky while I was on this weird high. Dabs, if you don't know, give people with low tolerance crazy highs. And so my friend's friend goes to sit down in the kitchen, and I think he had his girlfriend over, and I couldn't even focus on them, right? It's like I was looking at them underwater, and then I couldn't put my head back because my skin was tingly and numb and everything. And then about 20 minutes later, I'm freaking out, and I'm like, we'll call my friend Jacob. I was like, Jacob, dude, I am just dying right now. This is terrible. He's like, I'm sorry, dude. I told you it would fuck you up. And I was just like, this is crazy. And I couldn't feel my hands. I was like looking ahead of me at them. And I was just like, oh my God. And they're like, damn, he is really high. Like I was the highest they had ever seen someone get. And then I went actually back to the back bedroom and they're like, dude, you just need to lay down. It's not because at this point it was not a good high. Like I had established that it was terrible and I was not enjoying this. So I went to lay down and I just like wanted to start crying, right? Because I'm tripping out, like the walls are so small and everything, and I couldn't even walk. Like I felt nauseous going to walk to the bed, and like I tried to sleep and I was like freaking out because like when you're inside of this, it was really unpleasant for me because I took so much and I like way overdid it. And so I'm sitting there like, oh, I'm stuck in this for like the next like 3 hours. And I was just freaking out because I couldn't get out of it. I was stuck in this, but I finally fell asleep and I woke up at about like 2 a.m, right? And I had school the next day, which we'll get to that because this was on a Sunday night. And so I go to bed, I wake up like 4 hours later, I'm still totally messed up, right? So I go into the living room. I'm like, hey guys, what's going on? What's going on, Jacob? You know, like barely being able to talk. And then I just like fall to the ground, put my head in my arms and just like try to like close my eyes and like plug my ears, and like everything was hurting. It was just terrible. I felt nauseous. It was like a headache and it just wasn't pleasant. And if you don't know, like when you're high, unless you decide for yourself that you're enjoying it, you'll hate it. And so like that's just something you got to realize. After about an hour of like laying there and stuff, at about 3 a.m, my friend's like, come on, dude, we got to take you home. And so I get in the car, I barely make it to the car, right? And I'm like freezing. I kind of feel like I'm going to throw up. I kind of have a headache. And then I finally get home and my mom has like 2 of her friends over, right? 2 of her close friends. They were just playing cards and stuff. And I was like, hey guys. And then one of them decides to come talk to me and have a conversation with me because apparently they knew people that I knew in the past. And I'm just like sitting in the kitchen eating mounds of cake, right? Because there was a cake there and there was frosting, and I just took a spoonful of frosting, scooped out this cake, stuffed it in my mouth, and it was falling all over the floor. I'm trying so hard to act normal and not totally fucked up, and this guy just thinks I'm probably like crazy or something, and I'm just like, yeah, oh yeah, I know that person. And so after eating all of the frosting and about half of the cake, I go to my room, my dog's there, and I just pass out, dude. I'm dead, right? And so I set my alarm somehow to get me up at 9 a.m. so I can make it to class the next day. And I ended up waking up at 5 p.m. And so my mom tried to wake me up apparently and couldn't. And I don't know if she knew something was up. She probably knew something was up, but she wasn't going to like say anything. I don't know. She just like, I don't know. She's never thought of me of like doing stuff like that. So she never really said anything, I guess. But anyway, yeah, that's my story of the first time I dabbed. Totally crazy experience. If you guys enjoyed, definitely smack that like button, leave a comment, and I will see you tomorrow.